Greetings and welcome to the latest edition of the Jacksonville Buzz. I am your host, Adrienne. And joining me in the studio today is Jesus Vivar from Mix Theory Studio. And we did actually meet a couple of years ago. And so we're going to find out how the business is doing and what's happening in Jacksonville. Good morning, Jesus.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, thank you, Adrienne. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
Good. Well, I'd like to know what's happening with Mix Theory Studio since I last saw you.
Well, since we last saw each other, we had our grand opening on January 1st is when we opened our doors, actually the 2nd. And we celebrated our grand opening on February 22nd of 2022. And a lot of things have been moving around, and we've had a lot of traction and a lot of buzz. We've been really participating within the community itself and trying to get ourselves engaged.
Sure. So just for people who perhaps don't know, what does Mix Theory Studios do?
So we are a multimedia recording studio. We can record music for artists. We do vocal audio recordings for vocal books, audiobooks. We also do podcast recording, media reels, sizzle reels for people. We kind of encompass a lot of different projects. We also do soundscape, wellness music with our producer, Rashawn Simmons, Punch Boy. So we are kind of just really branching out on a lot of different varieties of music and media as well. So,
what do you think the client is in Jacksonville?
I think the clients would be savvy entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Artists as well, people that are trying to expand their reach and their broad to either their customers or their followers, whether it be through podcasts and monetizing on their businesses themselves. Even companies doing branded podcasts as well. I know that Ford has one, Jack Daniels has one. Everyone is jumping in on the podcast, so that's one of the things that we also encourage people to at least look into when they're trying to think about other ways to market themselves.
And that's the biggest problem now, isn't it? Or not a problem as much as we've realized that you don't have to be face-to-face with people. You can do a lot of things over the airways.
Yes.
And podcasts don't have to be just audio, do they?
No, they could be video as well. So we do video podcasting as well. It's one of the features that we add on if somebody wants to do a video podcast. Those things are also really taking off, especially on YouTube and things like that. Apple is also getting into it as well. They're trying to do their videos, Amazon as well. And more and more people are getting onto the podcast. Podcast started off as audio, and it's kind of a flashback to the radio days when people would sit around and listen to music or listen to the radio shows. It's one of those things that people can do while they're either cleaning the house or driving or, waiting for something, waiting for a bus or whatever it is that they're doing, waiting in traffic. They're listening to a podcast and they're getting engaged and learning more and more about either their community or something as far as business or anything like that. So
let's talk about the music side now, because you actually have studios and people can come to you and say, hey, I'm trying to put an album together, or I'm trying to just record a song. How do you help with that?
Well, we first sit down with the client or the artist and we kind of go over what they want to do as their project. Whether they have original music that they want to write to, we can help them with creating original music. They can also bring in their own audio. So if they have an instrumental or beat that they want to record over, they can come into the studio and we can record them as well. We don't need to have all the music there. We can do it on the spot, or they can tell us, hey, this is what we're looking for. This is the key that I'm singing in, or this is the type of music that I want to do, and we can give them a variety of options.
I mean, that sounds fantastic. Do you have also session musicians available should they need them?
So we do have other artists that we work with, including freelancers. So if we need a guitarist, a drummer, a violinist, we have them. We have a big, broad freelance, I guess you could say, rotary dial of a lot of people, just names and people that we've dealt with or have worked with within our years of being in the industry. So there's always plenty of people that we can reach out to and try to make things work, especially here in Jacksonville, because there's a lot of talent here. Plenty of talented people here. I mean, I'm just amazed.
Well, talking of that, I mean, we've got the bicentennial coming up.
Yes.
And I believe that you're involved with Jax Art 200. Tell me how you got involved with that.
So we actually met Cookie Davis first. Cookie Davis invited us to her art gallery for the Art Center Cooperative, where we met Ron Episcopo, Lisa Lofton, and a few other artists. And what we did was we had started In the Mix video series, which is on our local network called mtsjax.fm. And we were doing this mini series of just local artists. And we thought this would be an opportunity to help them showcase themselves, the art cooperative as well. And as we were talking to Ron Episcopo about the bicentennial and his involvement, we said, well, what is it? How can we help? How can we help contribute to this and get involved? And he said, well, I need an artist call. I need to call out the artists to see if we can get people to come to the event on June 11th. It'll be on Laurel Street, and that it's going from 12 to 4. So we added that as a pre-roll, as a commercial into our podcast, and just a way to kind of say, hey, we're here to help. So,
you know, we've run out of time already. And
oh my goodness.
I can't believe it. It was so quick. We could just keep going. But do come back.
Thank you.
Tell me what's going on, and let's perhaps connect after the bicentennial.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Adrienne.
Jesus, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you. Have a good one.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know any more information, you can always find it on iwannabuzz.com.